When do you think you'd see the rise of a political heavyweight or a political voice from your gender in Iran? You see that possible in the near future?
I think
or is there any such, because I don't know much about the local politics, are there any prominent women
But there are many
leaders?
women in Iranian politics, of course, and you know, the situation changes, it goes up and down, but women are very much in public life. In fact, the lady I was talking to just before, she said that to me. She said, when I was in Tehran, I was so surprised by how many women there were around, and everywhere women are working.
But internationally, you don't see many women leaders from Iran, right? I mean, the faces that,
well,
the images
women
that we
are not.
see.
I mean, we have no, but we have got. There are plenty of women in parliament, in the Majlis. You know, there are women in politics. There are women in civil society. Women are the majority of civil servants, doctors,
Is that right?
teachers.
Really?
Yeah. And I suppose our biggest figure, in a way, on the international stage is Shirin Ebadi, who was the Nobel Peace Prize winner some years ago. Now, she has been exiled for the last couple of years because after the election, her life and the life of her family was put in danger. But she is an amazing beacon for us. You know, she was a judge at the time of the revolution. She was the first female judge. Of course, the revolution happened. She lost her job. They took all that away. But she's continued to work as a lawyer, and she always represents people who are victims of the human rights abuses that the regime perpetrates.
In writing and journalism, you think, I mean, of course, there is the difference in how men and women are paid or even treated, possibly. But comparatively, if you compare it to the financial world or to other manufacturing industry, do you think journalism and writers, that space, is more evolved or is more in touch with the times when it comes to the gender dynamic?
Yeah,
and do you think that's going to be the leader as far as the equality space is concerned?
I agree with you. You know, when you look at writers, when you pick up a newspaper, you see there are many, many women writing, and in that instance, I don't think there's a disparity of pay between the genders. You know, there's a disparity of pay between how well known you are and that kind of thing. So that's different. It is also true, of course, that again, in my experience, you do have a certain sort of editor that kind of loves the Hemingway sort of myth, right? So they particularly tend to champion these kind of rather troublemaking young men that love to go to Afghanistan and get into the thick of things. You know, I know several journalists like this, and they're very much to be admired. They're very brave. They put themselves right in the middle of the action wherever it is that they go. But there is, but you know, they're not necessarily sensitive to the local situation or to kind of, you know, anything other than their own fantastic byline. And I've often wondered, is
that a problem with journalism, you think?
Well,
with star journalists taking over, I mean,
yeah,
the whole reporter
celebrities,
system.
That's you know, in the UK we have a terrible problem, I think, with the celebrity culture, where actually often when you open up, let's say, the travel pages.
As in, you're saying celebrity culture generally or in journalism?
Celebrity culture generally, where often you'll open up a newspaper or whatever and you'll see, you know, I've looked a lot at the travel sections, obviously, because that was one of my areas, and you'll see that, you know, this piece is written by this celebrity because it's a celebrity. This person is not a writer. This person is not going to be able to say anything necessarily that is entertaining or useful, but, you know, people will buy the newspaper because BBD Bob has written this, you know, and lots of programs get made.
That's bad for journalism, you think?
Yes, I think so. I think it's terrible for journalism, and particularly TV programs that are based around
non-seriousness into the issues being discussed, because that happens the world over, it happens in India too.
Right, and you know, it also means that people who are really dedicated and to their craft don't get a chance, you know, because they're not a famous chef or whatever it is. Irrelevant, I'm afraid, people that, you know, get to go and make travel programs because people will switch on the TV to see them, you know, but they don't have any insight, they don't have any sensitivity, they don't have any training. So that, for me, is that's a bit of a shame, really. I think that really pushes out.
Okay, how much time have you spent in India? Is this your first visit?
It's my first visit. I've been here for 2 days, and I've been here at the festival, which has been amazing.
So I guess I can't ask you what you think about Indian news and Indian journalism in media.
I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't know anything. Okay. Apart from just from my own very, very limited perspective, Since my book has been published, I've had a great deal of interviews and wonderful feedback from the media here.
Okay, you must have had some preconceived ideas about India as well before you came, just like we all do.
Yes, of
What
course.
were your preconceived ideas, and what has been reinforced and what has been busted?
Well, I mean, I really have just been here at the festival for the last 2 days, so I'm not sure I've got any kind of right to say anything.
And we know how close this is right now. Yeah, you haven't seen much outside.
I haven't seen much outside, so I'm very, very aware that I'm in a kind of complete bubble here, and that this is lovely.
And you think you'll ever go back to Iran to live there, or you're too westernized now?
No, I mean, you know, my answer is inshallah.
All right, inshallah. On that note, thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you very much. Thank you.